7:46, Chris Parente is with us with a very special guest this morning.
Special indeed. I've always loved Brooke Shields. Talk about a class act. And guess what? This time it's not a movie, not a TV show, but it is a book that she's written. It's called There Was a Little Girl. Now, you know, of course, Brooke from her long career on television and film. We are thrilled this morning, my friends, thrilled to have the incomparable Brooke Shields joining us live right now. Are you out there, Brooke Shields? Good to see you.
I'm out there. That's what I can say about myself is I'm out there.
I do want to ask you, you know, I've read that you say this book is not a mommy dearest book, that it was written more out of sadness than anger. What did you mean by that? Why did you write this about your mom now?
I wrote it now because, A, she's dead. You know, losing a mother is a big deal. I wrote it now because it was my turn to basically show all sides of the stories. You know, it wasn't intended to be a mommy dearest. It also wasn't intended to put her on a pedestal and say she was everything, the best that there was. And I think that we forget to do that with our parents. You know, we forget that, and it was my turn to sort of say, listen, I lived this stuff, and I lived it with her. I lived it through her. I was living more through her than she ever lived it through me. She didn't have the self-esteem to live through me.
Well, you know, you'd said that you thought your mom was God when you were growing up. Give me the pros and cons. Being that close to your mother, I mean, we all have complicated relationships with our moms, but it had to be difficult.
When you're that close, you don't leave room for yourself. And I don't mean that just as a selfish thing or as you don't leave room to ask yourself questions or even care about what you feel, what you like, what you don't like, what you like to eat, what you don't like to eat, you take their word because they know better. And that's what you believe. And I think that over time, I didn't know who I was as much. You know, I knew who I wanted to be or who I thought I should be, but it wasn't really necessarily always who I was. And I think that's, you run the difference. I mean, I have two daughters, and I'm amazed that they're not me. You know, I gave birth to them. Why aren't they exactly like me? And I have to listen to who they are independently of me, and that's threatening. And I never did that with my mom.
Sure.
Didn't want to.
There's so much in this book. It's getting a lot of great buzz for your honesty, the way you've approached it. I do want to ask before you go, my mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 11 years ago. And I know that you went through the caregiver situation with your mom. Can you describe that struggle of the woman you were so close to and her battling dementia and Alzheimer's?
You know, everybody around is so affected by this disease. It's really incredible. You watch the person that you have loved for so long or have dealt with for so long, whatever that means, and you watch them really fade and you watch them disappear, and you can't get it back. And it is gut-wrenching to witness, and it's really hard not to make it about yourself. And my heart goes out to the caregivers and the care professionals and the children and the grandchildren and it's mind-boggling because you can't. They look the same. They look like these people, and then all of a sudden your mom can't remember your own name. And you know, you go through the stages of, it's like death. You know, you get angry, you get hurt, then you get scared, and then you don't know what to do with that information. And it's a pervasive, sad problem for many.
Well, Brooke, thank you for sharing that story, your life with your mother. The book is There Was a Little Girl, getting great buzz. I'm going to read this thing cover to cover. We got to go now. Are you going to come out?
It's funny, too. I know it sounds weird, but it's really funny.
Good. There's a lot of laughs in there as well. Hey, we'll see you next time you come to Colorado. Are you going to come out here anytime soon?
I would love to. It is so beautiful there, and I have friends there, yes.
Excellent. We'll leave the fireplace on for you. Brooke Shields, a pleasure as always. Best of luck to you, Brooke. Great book.
Thank you.
There Was a Little Girl. You can get that now. You want to do our celebrity tweet of the morning?
We can or don't have to.
Do we have time for that or not, folks? Talk to me.
Like no, yes.
Do we have a
Why don't you
celebrity?
just stay there with that look on your
All right.
face?
I knew this wasn't a good idea.
You know what? Most of these celebrity autobiographical books skew towards being vapid or empty, and this sounds like there's a lot in there.
There's a lot, and it's not just about her mom. She does talk about, you know, her first love, her relationship, her marriage, her first marriage as well. It's getting a lot of great buzz. I'm going to go read this now instead
Yeah, go read that.
instead of the tweet of the day.
And we'll tell you that in a few